Hi, I'm Rachel Carey with Emerging Lotus, and this is your Tuesday tip. Continuing our conversation on conflict, we've been discussing how we might be able to redefine conflict from one of a win or lose type situation to one that might provide greater opportunity for growth and connection. Last week, we discussed how to build greater awareness to what's going on within our body and when our body is clicking over into autopilot and utilizing breath and counting to be able to create that space to prevent going into autopilot so we can stay in our logical center and utilize those tools to further explore the opportunity and the real path of what's kind of happening within that moment, that conflict. So we're going to build from there, from that place. If you haven't already, pause, take 3 deep breaths, check in, notice the emotions that are kind of happening in you, notice where those spaces are as you're thinking about a particular conflict that maybe you're in the moment. I think back to one particular conflict where I had an employee, and as a leader, I wanted nothing more than to be able to promote this employee. She was phenomenally intelligent and great at her job. There were a couple areas of opportunity for her to further establish herself as being ready in that role. But one of the things that was such a simple fix that was getting in her way was tardiness. At that particular organization, that was very much against their value system. Tardiness was frowned upon, and it was creating a major roadblock. This created such frustration in me because many of you have probably been in a situation where somebody is seeking advancement, and when they get in their own way, it can be really frustrating and create an inner conflict or maybe even the external conflict with that individual. So I had choices. An autopilot, I could have just yelled at the individual. I could have written the individual up. That's what HR background will teach you, right? Which is what my background is. We document it and say, well, you're not doing it, so you're not a good fit. But then we lose all of the other places where this person was an amazing fit. It's just one thing, a couple things. But this particular one thing was such an easy fix. So frustrating. And I noticed in me, I did the breathing, I did the clenching, and I noticed in me what was happening. So I began asking the questions. What's the long-term goal here? What are my options to react? And how can I choose one that is in alignment for what the long-term goal is? So if you're thinking about that conflict that you have, and you're going through those questions, you may land with, I'm really still frustrated though, Rachel, and I've got to enter into this conversation. And how do I stay grounded in it and organized in it and set the boundary that's needed? This is a question that has come up a lot of times with a lot of the people that I've worked with, whether one-on-one or in a group situation. It's one of the largest challenges within the dynamics of relationship. And so I'm writing it down. One of the tools and framework I use, I borrow from from DBT, which is a psychological practice, and it is a framework for setting boundaries. So the framework is Dear Man. Man comes into the back and forth part of it. So I'm not going to focus on that part of it today, but we'll focus on Dear. So Dear, like you're writing a letter, Dear, DEAR. And it stands for describe, explain or express, ask or affirm, or reaffirm what it is that's needed. So it's the Dear. So what that would look like in the situation that I provided is, over the last, I'm making up facts at this point, none of this is real. Over the last 6 months, you have been tardy on a daily basis, at least 3 days a week, where you're coming in anywhere between 15 and 20 minutes late. I've described the facts. Those are facts. I mean, they're made up facts, but they're facts. And then express or explain. This causes me a lot of frustration because one of the things that we're working on together is that promotion that you really want. And this is a simple, easy thing that seems to be getting in your way. And yet, despite the countless conversations we've had, we're still experiencing a tardiness issue. It is critical in this particular situation that you show up on time, that this is your start time. The reason that this is important is that this is a roadblock that's coming between your promotion, but it's also important because it's a value of the organization. It reflects on other people that are observing you coming in late, and we want to ensure that I'm pulling from really old information, but you can pull here the different things, that the values of the organization, the things that back it up, right? This is why it's important. It's important to you because you want that promotion. It's important to me because I'm trying to get you that promotion. And it's important to the organization because of the structure, the values that exist here. And so that's how we can use DEAR. Now, your HR department probably has a particular framework for you for documenting these sorts of things. And you definitely want to like check in with them and see what you need to document and what the process is for that if it's at that stage. But this covers all of it that's going to go in there. Here's the facts, what's expected, what's the plan going forward. So you can utilize DEAR to help you in rebalancing, creating, or reestablishing a boundary that is being crossed in a leadership type situation. So thanks DBT for creating this. The creator of DBT, which I don't have in front of me. But by all means, it has helped countless of my clients. It's helped me in many different situations in many organizations. So DEAR, D-E-A-R, describe, explain, ask, and reinforce or reaffirm. All right, that's your Tuesday tip. Have a great day. Take care.